Well, it sure is nice to be out of the sewer dungeon, but, after that, I don't know how difficult a challenge we're in for now, especially since we're so close to the towers of Castlevania. What could possibly be in store for us? Probably nothing good. Oh my god, gold! Gold everywhere! Simon, pick some of this up. This is probably really valuable, actually. Just get a small chest, and then you'll be a rich man, I swear. Or, I assume, anyway. I don't know. Anyway, though, rude. Well, that's kind of to introduce the fact that this area is just a little bit unstable. Probably because there's gold lumped everywhere. But anyway, yeah, this stage is a little bit unstable. We're going to want to watch out for breaking platforms like the ones right here. Oh, and of course, skeletons throwing bones, which I don't like when they're below you, because you can't hit them, but they can sure hit you. So we had those breakable platforms, so basically we're on the lookout for those, the little ones that are hung up by ropes. That being said, though, there are also the breaking ground platforms, but there's not really much of a point to those. They're just kind of minorly annoying, but yeah, I guess maybe if you weren't actually trying to kill the bone-throwing skeleton, maybe you could get stuck there and he'd get a free hit-off on you? I don't know. They're not the most threatening thing, but the other ones that hang on ropes, yeah, those are definitely threatening, especially now that they're actually over a pit. You know, we got a few of these to practice on, where they were kind of dangerous just because they were over enemies, but we did get a bit of practice, we know how they work, and now we have to get used to them over death pits. That's always good bit of game design. I like it when games do that. It's not, oh hey, here's an obstacle, now deal with it. It's, oh hey, here's this obstacle in a relatively safe environment. Alright, you saw it, okay, now we're gonna try to kill you with it, or something like that. I don't know, usually Nintendo games are pretty good with that. I remember the Mario Worlds were fairly good with that sort of thing, but yeah. This game does that too from time to time. You know, it's not always the best with introducing enemies. It's a little haphazard like that, but not as bad as some games where it just throws enemies in the most dangerous context possible for them. Looking at you, classic Mega Man games. Oh, and you see that little hole at the bottom with the wind sucking into it? Yeah, that's not just a little aesthetic touch. No, those are actually obstacles. They'll suck you in and stick you to the area for a moment. You can't really destroy them, you can only avoid them, or just weather them. Honestly, they're not a huge deal, just know that you'll have to be in a very exact spot for a moment if you're next to them, and that can hamper your dodging abilities. Oh, and that gold acts like quicksand in games. Stand in it too long and you will drown in gold. I don't want that, of course. Thankfully, though, it's easy to just jump out of, so not a huge problem. Better than a bottomless pit at the very least. You know, that being said, though, while the stage is filled with gold, I don't quite like the look out of it. Oh, and by the way, you want to wait at least a second or two for platforms to form, but you also don't want to get hit on the head by one of those blocks, because that hurts and it'll send you down into spikes, and you don't want that. But anyway, I don't exactly like the look of this level. I do love shiny things, don't get me wrong, but honestly, this level doesn't really look that shiny. I mean, I see the little glittery stars blinking in and out, and that's alright, I guess. I don't know, maybe this level could use more gems or something, but I don't know. I'm just not really getting that treasure feel, and given that's the entire aesthetic, I guess I'm just not huge on it. Level design is alright, I like it. It's not one of the harder stages of the game, but it's not too easy, and also it's not cheap like some other stages can be. Looking at you, Entry Hall. That being said, though, song is actually really good. I don't know if it's exactly atmospheric. Then again, I guess Treasury isn't exactly something you can really have a good song for. I don't know. It's a little bit difficult to sort of get a feeling for that sort of stage, especially the kind of game Castlevania is. It does have its musical style, so... That being said, though, it is a very good song again. Probably one of the better ones in the game, actually. And it's one of my favorites. Get rid of this guy, please. Come on, really? Really? Oh well, at least we got money for them. I mean, it's fitting to get money from the bone dragon things. But again, you know, maybe, Simon, you should pick up a few gold bars or something. I do love that little bit. It's kind of, I don't know, unfocused, I guess? I don't know how to really describe that. I'm not the best with music, but, it is kind of a little all over the place, I guess? Again, still a very good song, it's just a bit of a weird one and new. Golden Whip Skeleton. Yeah, I don't really particularly care for these guys. I know I mentioned they had long range before, but I forget if I mentioned that they're fast attackers as well. Very erratic, and I don't really care for enemies that don't really telegraph. That's not a problem for this boss, though. That being said, I really don't like this boss at all. This is Zapbat, also known as Golden Baton. This phase is really easy. He'll try to rush you from time to time, and that gold he emits whenever you hit him can hurt you, but it's very easy to avoid. You can kind of see where it's coming from. It never really comes from anywhere else, so just position yourself straight under him, and you should have no problem. Until... yeah, it happened further in the battle than I thought. Yeah, until this happens. He then separates into 3 gold bats, and those little, coin guanos are, those are dangerous, as are the gold that they spout whenever you hit them, and they are very fond of getting you into the corner. They are damn near impossible to avoid, and there were so many takes I had just trying to get out of the way of these things, but they follow you so obsessively that it's very hard to actually avoid them very well. Once there are no longer 3 of them, though, they're a little bit easier, but yeah, I still don't care for them. Well, that's it for Dracula's Treasury. I guess we're not stealing anything but those bags of money, so onwards we go. So, next time... Oh, are we going to fall into another dungeon? Oh, nope. Just a convenient stairway. Alright, next time on Super Castlevania 4, Convenient Way Forward.